Hey guys, this is Kamil. This is the second part of the video in which I share and teach you the strategies that super rich and rich use and have been using for thousands of years to preserve, to generate and preserve the wealth. And the strategies and principles are so simple that everybody can apply them successfully, irrespectively of how much you earn and where you live, what the economy is doing, irrespectively of anything. Those principles have proven to work, and I'm emphasizing that because those principles, if you use those principles, they will work for you. There is no point doing something that's designed to play against you. You need to do something that works, that has the highest probability of success for you. And that's how rich people get rich, because they follow proven strategies and they manage their risks using certain strategies as well, because there is always a risk in investing, in saving. There is risk, there is always risk in everything. You need to learn how to manage those as well. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about simple rules of investing, golden rules of investing. We're going to talk about financial advisors, when to use it, how to use them, when not to use them, and a few other things. So let's start again. The most important part is to remember, a part of all you earn is yours to keep. Always put 10% into your savings, at least 10%, and commit to that. So let's say you have built a nice saving portfolio. Maybe it has taken you half a year, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. Let's say you've been saving 10%, which is, let's say here in the UK, £100 a month, and you've got now 1,000, 1,200 pounds in your savings. Now, what to do next? That's a very good question. Why do we save money actually? What's the purpose of it? Just by saving them like this, we're not gonna get super rich. Very unlikely. If there was some great interest rates, yes, maybe, but just by saving only, we're not gonna get super rich. It will help a lot, but not just by saving. Now I'm gonna tell you, you might think it's a bit of a contradiction to what I've told you, but it's not. So listen why. You save money to invest. You save money to invest into things that appreciate in value, into funds, investments, businesses, options, stocks, and other things. Now you might want to say, oh, I don't want to be an investor and I don't want to study that, and it's fair enough. You don't need to. You don't need to. You just need to educate yourself a little bit about this, enough to understand what you're doing. And you don't need to choose all those options. You can choose 1, 2. What you just need to do is to diversify and not to put all eggs in the basket, in the same basket as the old saying is. So what you do, you take 10% of what you have saved. So let's say if you saved £1,000 or $1,000, so you take £100 and you think where you could invest it to. Maybe you will put it now into some ISA investment. In the UK we have those ISA savings that pay a bit higher percentage, but they usually have some strings attached. So for example, you can't take the money for a year or for 3 years. So there is a bit of a risk in that. If there is hyperinflation, for example, you might lose quite a lot of money. So you need to consider what to do. Maybe there is some kind of a business you can think of investing. Maybe you think that if you buy something, then you can sell it for much higher price and make a profit. So invest into that. Now, why only 10%? Okay, so now we are coming to the golden rule of 10%, the risk tolerance. Most of us are okay to lose 10% of what we have. So if you invest 10% and you lose it, which you are likely to do, I'm not saying that you will, but there is a big probability that in your first investment you might lose your money, you know, or maybe not everything, but you might lose a little bit, or you might not make as much as you hoped to make. For example, you put a lot of effort, you thought you'll make at least double the money back, and you only broke even, for example. So if it's only 10%, you're not gonna panic or be in despair. But if, let's say, if you take half of your savings and you lose it or lose a lot of it, you will be a bit depressed, and that might set you back. So that's the rule, 10%. So you only take 10% and put it into some other basket. And as I said, it could be something very safe, like another savings account with just higher interest, or it could be some business, something you sell. or something that you basically understand. So it's not time for you to start investing on the stock market, shares, options. It's too early. Now, the 90% of savings that you have are important because they keep you emotionally stable. So what happens is when people start investing more than 10% of what they have, or they start investing when they haven't accumulated quite a lot of savings, they start panicking when they lose money, or when they invest into something that's long term and it starts losing money first. They go, oh my god, and then they sell just to, you know, get some of the money back. They don't think that it's a long-term strategy and they might get the money back, and they lose money in long term. So the wealth preservation strategy that I was teaching in another video says, Warren Buffett's rule number 1, do not lose money. That's rule number 1. And rule number 2, see rule number 1, do not lose money. So that's the name of the game, do not lose money. And so the purpose of saving is to make more money. And as someone said, money makes money, and the money makes even more money. And it's very clever. At first it might not make sense, but if you say it again slowly, you will understand. Money makes money, and the money makes more money. So I think it's brilliant, and you should apply that in your life. So, golden rules of investment. Do not invest into anything that you do not understand. So it might be great that you have some friends, someone is advising you and they know what they're doing, but if you do not understand, you just simply give them the money. This is not the wisest thing to do, and it's been proven over hundreds or thousands of years that it's not a good strategy for many reasons. First of all, you need to understand the risk of the investment. Even if there is a small risk, you need to know what possibly can happen that will go wrong. So you can decide when something happens, you can think about this in advance, and then when it happens, you are ready to react, you have a backup plan. You need to understand what are exit strategies, because your goals in life might be and probably are different to the goals of your friend who's a good investor. You know, he might be looking for a quick gain and just go away. You might be looking for a long term, or the other way around. You have a different risk tolerance to your friend or to the other people, the advisor that you're using. So make sure that you understand what you invest in. Second rule, do not invest into something just because others are investing. You know, that has proven again to be a wrong approach. We had this example in I think 2005, 6, 7, when people started investing in properties in Bulgaria just because somebody else was doing, because neighbors were doing, because they read in the newspaper that people are doing, and they didn't understand it, and most of those people actually lost money, quite a lot of money, quite a lot of the savings, because of the recession that came later. Whereas seasoned investors, they knew that, you know, they first had to examine the market, so they examined this, and many of them could see that it wasn't really a viable option, and they didn't invest. So do not invest into anything until you understand it. At least you don't need to understand it as an expert in detail, because you're not, that's not the point necessarily. However, as much as you can, so understand the risks and understand the exit strategies. So you need to know whether there are some, what are other kind of strings attached, how, what to do. If it's a property, it's a difficult thing, because you know there will be certain fees to pay, certain administrative costs, costs of renting, or cost of renovating, and many other things. You need to understand that and have it calculated, and do it with someone who knows what they are doing, and ideally someone who's been doing this for 10, 20 or 30 years, not someone who just did it and has done it, you know, for a year or two. It's better than nothing, but look for someone who's been doing this for 10 years or more, so they can give you a better overview and better advice. Second thing, listen to many people, but do your own thinking and decide what you think is best. So these are the rules of investing. Now, we keep talking about the 10%. So we have covered now that this slowly builds up. Then the money that this makes more money, and the more money you have the more emotional stability. That's why you still need to have liquid savings, savings in the form of a cash, to keep you safe, secure emotionally. So when something happens, you have a recession or something happens in the market, you don't go into panic mode and suddenly start doing silly things, because that makes people lose money. So the purpose of savings is also to keep you emotionally stable, because if you know that you have in your savings 10 of your salaries, you're not worried that you have lost your job, or you're not worried that much that some of your investments didn't play well, because you know you still have a lot of savings, you still have some other investments. So be very careful in what you're doing. And obviously, as you keep saving, make sure that you cut down your expenses. You know, if you start making profit, don't think that you can suddenly start buying luxuries. No, you actually need to cut your expenses even more, so you have more money to invest. And only when you become really, really rich, that's the time. So when the income from the investments is higher than the income from your other jobs, that's the time when you can maybe quit the job and maybe start buying some luxuries. But make sure that you've got more money coming in than actually you spend. And that will happen if you commit to the 10% saving every month, or actually not every month, 10% of everything you earn. So it doesn't matter whether you earn it every day, every hour, or every month. You need to 10% you need to save. So if you commit to that, that will take you to a place where you start actually cutting down your expenses automatically, because you will be more committed to your savings than to your expenses. That's the simple rule of the universe, and that's how it works. Okay, so what else do we need to cover? So investing and speculating. Okay, so many people go for the so-called get rich quick schemes, and those, unfortunately, in most cases, they will lose you money. So 1 out of 20 might make you money, because you might be lucky enough to be one of the first people to get, or for whatever reason, but probably 19 of them will lose you money. So if you're going for the big kill, it might happen for you once in a while, but most of the time you will lose money. And what that means, you will actually be emotionally unstable. You will have a lot of depression in life, upsets, anger, and disappointments. You don't want that. You want emotional stability. So do not play lottery. You know, lottery, scratch cards, and all those things, they've been designed with odds against you. So why should you do that? You know, to win the lottery, the chances of winning the lottery is like 1 to 14 million on average. You know, why would you play something like this? You can play once a month, spend £1 just for fun, you know, because you might win something. But do not make this as your financial strategy. It's not a good idea. Whereas what I'm telling you, these are proven strategies with odds designed actually in your favor. So, investments. As you go with investment, you go into safe investment. There are various index funds, mutual funds, and as you go, you will start learning about those things. So don't worry that I'm telling you about so many things. You will learn as you go. You will learn about one type of investment, then another type of investment, and it's not complicated. It's not something that you need to study for hours, that you need to have a degree, that you need to be an accountant. No. If you need an accountant, you will hire one, and you will go and get advice, and you will pay him or her for this. This is simple knowledge, and you can learn it. Even if you think you're not a very well educated person, or even if you think that you're stupid, you can still learn it. These are simple things. You can still find something that works for you. Financial advisors, these are people you can go to. However, I would not recommend to going to financial advisors when you're just starting this. I mean, you can go and ask for advice, yes, that's a good idea, but do not give them money. You know, financial advisors very often work based on commission that you pay up front. So they don't do any work. What they do, they take your money and put somewhere where they believe it might make money, but they don't really know. So what you need to do is find advisors who only take money from what they make for you. So they say, look, I believe I can make you 10%, and I'm gonna take 2% of whatever you make. If you don't make any money, I don't take any money. And I think that's a fair deal. So you will be better off finding advisors like this, not just someone who just takes a fee every month for moving your money from left to right. You can do it yourself for free, and probably better than they do, because they will usually put it to funds where they actually get commission as well for doing that. So they don't often have your interest in mind. So when you start making some, when your portfolio grows to big sizes, then it's the time, maybe £10,000, maybe £100,000, that depends on you, you decide. Then you go to those financial advisors and talk to them about strategies, and then maybe some money will put here, maybe there, and you revise that every half a year or every year, depending how you like it. You will understand then mutual funds, how they work, what are benefits and pros and cons, the index funds, how they apply, the stock markets, what stocks to buy. So Warren Buffett says always buy good quality stocks at a fair price. It's no good buying some so-so stocks at a fantastic price. It's not that great as buying a fantastic stock at a fair price, because you're looking for a long-term gain, not a short-term profit on paper. You know, so Warren Buffett also says, do not worry about what your funds are doing every day. You know, look for how they perform year after year after year. That's what you are really looking for. And a part of all you earn is yours to keep. Remember, this is critical. This is absolutely critical. Now, how about if you actually have debts? I promised to cover that. So what happens if you want to start saving but you are still in debts? Okay, here's very important. You still need to start the saving. And what you do, now let me tell you why. Observing your savings grow is much more inspiring than watching your debts decrease. That's the first thing. Second thing is, if you focus on debt, you will just get debt, or you will, at best, you will get out of debt and that's it. Whereas when you focus on wealth, you will get more wealth. Again, simple strategy. So focus on wealth, on the 10% that you put away every month to savings. That's what you need to do. With that, then think how much you can then pay off every month. And then think, okay, I've got that here, here and here, and I can only pay this much, and I cannot even keep up with the interest, for example. So you then write a letter to all those people who you owe money, and you say, look guys, this is the situation, this is how much I'm making, that's my bank statement to prove it, and I can only pay you this much money every month. Do you? And I suggest you accept it or put it in some clever way. There are lots of templates on the internet actually how to write it in a very clever way, professional and polite. So actually those agencies, banks will accept your agreements. Now some of them might put some what do you call it, on your credit scoring. They might mark things that you have defaulted on your payments or something like this. Well, tough luck, but really you don't really need that. What you need is to build your wealth, and when you're in debt, your credit scoring doesn't really matter much, because no one's gonna give you another loan, and loan is not really what you want, frankly speaking. What you want is to build your wealth. So don't worry about your credit scoring. You will rebuild it very quickly once you pay off your debt and once you start investing and saving and then investing in the strategic way. So that's the message about the debt. Have a debt payment plan. Just tell people, the banks or whoever you owe money, look, this is what I can actually afford, this is what I'm preparing to pay you every month or every week for as long as I can until the debt is paid off. If I can pay you more, I will increase my payments. For the time being, this is what I can do. And most institutions, people and banks, if you go with them and tell them, look, I'm committed to paying you back, they will accept your offer, because they have no choice, because they know any other choice is if you default completely, and then they will lose the money, the investment. So they'd rather get a small payment over a long time than actually lose it completely. So they will do it. So, and if someone is a little bit bullish or not very polite, don't worry, you just need to do it. Now, you might think, oh no, I'd rather than not save and pay off my debts. Well, it's your choice. It's your choice, but I'm telling you, if you're really thinking about financial independence, very soon you commit to saving rather than you're paying off your debts. Or at least save 5%. If you really don't want to do that, save 5%, but save something, you know, save something, save and save. start saving, commit to saving, become a person who's committed to your own future, to financial growth and independence. And that's the message I want to leave you with. Commit to becoming an investor in your own future and creating your own wealth and making money work for you. So money is your slave. If you have a job and you keep going every day 5 times a week to work, you are slave to money, because you go to work to money. And your job is to move to the 5% of population who are investors, business owners, who actually make money their slave. So they are masters of the money, and money works for them. So money makes money, and the money makes even more money. That's the only way you can create a fortune. You cannot create a fortune just working from 9 to 5. No one has done it. Even if you're a chairman of a bank and you make 1 or 2 millions a year, and you might even get 2 millions in some extra bonuses, if you don't apply those principles of investing money, you just spend and spend, you will not be a super rich person. You will be well off, you will have a comfortable life, but you will have to work 5 times a week or more, go to work every day, have limited holidays, limited time with your family, but you won't be really rich, you won't be financially free. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna then make another video, the third part, in which I will cover more what to do today, because there are some challenges today, and certain strategies do not work at the moment or are not as effective. So I will discuss with you a few options of what you could do to mitigate the risks of today. And what I do, I will tell you also a few things that I do and my friends do, which is an option for you as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Just remember to like the video, subscribe if you haven't done it, and share the video with others. Big thanks, see you in the next video. Bye.